Hey guys, we just got back from an early screening of Aquaman. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Yeah, kind of like
Don't
fishing
own a
thing, right?
trident or anything. DCEU is back with Jay. Why are you snickering over there, Alex?
It was like you said, it's back. Like it was like here before, and it's never.
Well, they did kind of. They stumbled quite a bit, obviously, recently. Wonder Woman was kind of their one good hit. And upon further reflection, I think the third act of Wonder Woman is real bad, you know. But they got the character right, and I cared about the characters, and so that's what matters there. Aquaman is here, and my God, it is
non-stop, in-your-face action.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It is an epic spectacle. This knows how to have fun. They didn't screw it up. Look, Aquaman is he's not cool. But this film made Aquaman, by the end of the day, cool, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
They made it huge, epic spectacle. This is visually stunning. This is breakneck speed. This is, you want to do it? Now, should we do it? Let's do it. They do it. And now it's not a perfect film.
It's a very stupid film.
It is stupid.
But
it is
yes,
very long. I'll say that, very, very long. But really, really entertaining. Like, I wanted to go to the bathroom and I didn't want to leave. You know, so that shows you how entertaining it was. Only when they went on like this little side adventure in the desert was like, okay, I'm gonna come back and tell me what happens. But so I really, really thought that Aquaman did its job. Director James Wan seems to have brought in so much energy, color, life.
See what happens when you just like take your time on a film?
Yeah.
You actually make a
even more
good,
time.
decent film. Way
They
to
took even
go,
more
DC.
time. Yeah, good. Way to go, DC. We have another DC success. Not the greatest masterpiece of all time, right? It's Aquaman after all.
It's a good step forward.
But this is a good step forward. He actually really stays very true to a lot of the Aquaman lore from the comics. In fact, a little too much lore here. Like, good God, there's this faction and another faction and then this kingdom and another kingdom, and let's go over here for a little bit and then let's go over there for a little bit. Then let's go into this part and this part. We're just trying to save this stuff. We'll talk about it in spoilers, but boy, you better prepare yourself.
There's so much going on.
Prepare your butts in the
visually.
seat because you're going to get entertained. And you know how I said Mortal Engines is, it's visually stunning and the creative world and lore building, but it was just a kind of a crappy, characters and story. Fuck all that shit. What Aquaman has all that, right? Yeah. It's at the beginning of Mortal Empires, you get the cities driving around, and then, Alex said, well, that's only the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, like
and he's right. Well, this shit is here all the time. It's literally, I kept thinking, that's where they spent their budget. And then the next thing, holy shit, that's where the budget went. No, that's where the budget went. And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But sometimes without purpose.
Yeah, much like Mortal Engines, though, and much like the rest of the DCEU, there is so much in this film that it's at breakneck speed, right? Everything's good. They're so fast, and so they're trying to earn some emotion from the audience, and you just don't get any. There's a lot of scenes where it's like, I'm going to tell you, not show you, because we do not have time. This guy's the bad guy. That's why, this guy just killed that guy for no reason. No, they're in love. We promise. Much like Mortal Engines, it's like, no, we love each other. It's like, no, you don't.
Yeah, so it does have some of the small problems of that type of film where the dialogue is sometimes weak. It's cheesy. No, you know what? It's
bad.
Cheesy as fuck.
Cheesy.
It is bad at times. But but because it's getting everything else so right, and it's firing on all cylinders, and it's giving you such a spectacle, and it does seem to embrace the Aquaman lore without making fun of it. I thought they were going to come in here and make fun of it, but they don't. They really just say, this is the way it looks. This is the way Ocean Master looks. If you think he looks ridiculous, fuck off. You know what I mean? Because that last suit that he shows up in, I was like, they're never gonna do that shoot. He wears and he's in the suit and he's doing his speeches in the suit, and I'm like, that's great. You know, that's fucking great. And we get to see Aquaman as well doing his thing. So, and some of the most visually impressive creature designs in these epic battles. So basically, it's a story of, you know, Arthur, you know, basically becoming the king of Atlantis and what he has to go through in order to get there.
And what I liked about it in the origin story, it was real quick, but you got the gist of it. They didn't dwell too much on that. You're like, all right, this is what happened. Let's move on to the greater part. The one you came to see, which I liked.
Yeah, you get Nicole Kidman as his mother. You saw a little bit of that in the trailer. She gets some great badass moments. You know, I think, God, the action in this film is so good. It is filmed so well, too. I can see everything. They do wide shots. They do head over the shoulder shots. They do over the top shots. They do spinny shots. They do all kinds of shots that I'm like, wow, you know what? Why do we even need Zack Snyder if we got James Wan?
Hey,
no, I'm not saying that. I like
he's still
Zack Snyder,
involved in the film.
but I don't think he was as much as involved as you think he is. Like, this is James Wan's thing.
For sure.
He was given complete creative control here, and I think that's part of the why this works in the ways that it does work. You know, maybe he needed to be reined in a little bit on the runtime, but other than that, I don't see.
That's what I was thinking about. Like, in the
given help
runtime,
in the
everything
writing.
was like, it was a long movie, but what would you cut out? There's
The bad dialogue.
The bad dialogue.
so just fight, just like
Yeah.
no talking, just
Yeah.
fight.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I never thought I'd say this, but we kept going to action spectacles to slow-mo action explosion with debris and lasers and Black Mantas firing and shit, and it's so good. But there was a point in the film where I was like, man, I really hope they slow down and kind of develop these characters. There is no moment where they slow down and develop the characters. There's like little 2-minute segments where they do throw a little joke in or two, and then they expect you to believe, okay, love story, and okay, they like each other, and then moving on, and then fire explosions, and that does not work. That part of the film just doesn't work. But it's backed up by such a great action and shit that you're thoroughly entertained. I mean, I don't think you go in Aquaman expecting some, you know, friggin'.
There was a lot of scenes in this. Like, this is a deeply flawed movie, though. Like, there were some scenes that I was excited, I'm getting into it, and then they did something that completely pulls me out of the film. It's like, I hate you. I don't want to talk too much about it, but there is a CG octopus that plays the drums for no reason.
I thought that was hilarious. I like the fact that there's a CGI octopus playing the drums.
They're trying to keep it light.
That is the world of Aquaman. If you go in, and I'm like, oh my God, they actually did that. And I said, you know what? Fuck it. We going now. Anything could happen after that point. And we got massive creatures that I want spoiled. We got all sorts of, you know, animals riding into battle, mammals and fish, and well, you know what I'm saying. Just, it's crazy, and I just really enjoyed it all about how it was no holds barred. This is the Aquaman lore. Yes, it is really ridiculous. Yes, it is really stupid looking sometimes, but it's hard not to have fun. It really isn't. I mean, did you not have fun?
It was fun, but
it was fun. Yeah, that's all I need from you, Alex.
Well, I don't need that. Optimistic.
This is a review. I want to let people know that it's fun, but there's a lot of shit you have to chew through. You have to sit through a horrible Pitbull song where he sings the song Africa while they're flying to Africa, and it just hits you in the face with it. Like, you're like, oh, this is gonna be cool, and then it's not.
So I was really happy with the song selections at first. I was like, this movie has great song selections, because I was impressed in the they play this Norwegian or somewhere in the north song. Scandinavian area, and I really love this song when they build up, you know, Arthur's mother and her father, how they fall in love, and I was like, that's a great song choice. The rest of these songs are going to be great. Unfortunately, that's not how it works out. There are some good songs, no doubt, and I think it does have some sort of great orchestral themes and battle themes and things like that. But when he puts songs to try to do some romantic things like that.
They went to Africa. Get it? We're gonna play the Africa song.
By
All right.
Pitbull.
I will agree that it was inconsistent when I was hoping to come here and tell you the soundtrack is the best. It is not, unfortunately. No. But there are really good moments and some excellent selections here and there. This, it's so fascinating to me. There's a lot of world building in this one, just like there was in Mortal Empires. Apparently, the Atlanteans have, I'm not up to my, Aquaman lore. I know a little bit about the Trench, and I didn't expect the Trench to be in here, but they were. There's like 7 kingdoms, and damn, they go to about every single goddamn one of them. No, but, close to it.
Pretty much.
They're going all over the place and showing you all different types of races and all different types of kingdoms ruled by different kings with political, ideologies. And then, Ocean Master, who is the current ruler of Atlantis, is trying to rally them all together in order to attack the surface world. And so you have a lot of these little side plots that are literally just there, and then they're gone, and then they're there, and then they're gone. And it's good for world building. It's good to immerse you in it. But sometimes you wish that, damn, man, this is like 3 movies worth of content.
Because that was one of my kind of pet peeves, one of the subplots. I think they should have been taking it out, but I'll talk about it in spoilers.
Okay. Like I said, it does feel like Lord of the Rings. It feels like, but I almost don't fault it for it because it's like it's Aquaman, right? Like, how many Aquaman movies do you want? So maybe he's like, James is like, if I'm going to make Aquaman, I'm going to go all out.
Yeah, because I
am putting every
we have
interesting
one
thing
shot, guys. This is
right.
Aquaman. Nobody's really interested. Let's make this the best movie ever and throw everything in the kitchen sink.
Yes. So here's how I'm going to compare it to other DCU films. So y'all know that people always give me shit for it that I liked Suicide Squad. I don't think it's as bad as everybody. I think it's a meme now just to jump on it and say it's really, really bad. It's not a good film. Like, when I rated it, we were drunk. We did have fans come over, and we were doing a fan event. So it was like 8 out of 10. It's really a 6 out of 10 is what Suicide Squad was. But this film is better than Suicide Squad. This film is better than Justice League. And in many ways, I thought Justice League got a lot of things wrong, but it wasn't the worst thing ever. So I think I like this one more than Justice League. Batman vs. Superman, I like it more than Batman vs. Superman. Of course, my love for Superman makes me like certain parts of that film and hate certain aspects of that film. I don't think it's better than Man of Steel. I think Man of Steel is still a superior one. Remember, I really love the world building in that one. That film made me feel the emotion. Right? Yeah, he does agree with me. That one makes you feel the emotion, especially if you're attached to your mother and you're trying to protect your family and you're trying to do these things. It's great. That's the thing that Aquaman lacks, is that emotional aspect. You don't give a shit about when some characters reunite or as this character, passes on or this or that. Like, you're not feeling any of it. Maybe a little bit with his dad, in certain sections that they'd show some flashbacks or his dad's always doing this and then that resolves. But it's very, very weak in that aspect. So what's the other DCEU film that's done really good?
Wonder Woman.
How does this compare to Wonder Woman? What would you think?
I think it's below Wonder Woman.
Below Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I still like that one better.
Even with that third act.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot watch Wonder Woman again with that goddamn villain.
That mustache.
That fucking mustache. He looks so stupid, and the CGI is so bad. And when you compare the CGI in that film, in that third act, boss, to this. But it
had emotion.
It did have emotion. It got those things right. And that's the point that I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
Is that you can put as many space battles, or these are, in this case, underwater battles, and they are mwah. Like, how much I love space battles. I love seeing a film like this. This is like fucking, XCOM Terror, the Deep on steroids. This is like, we've not seen anything like this before. And so that's what I really like about this Star Wars underwater. I guess you've kind of seen it in the prequels of Star Wars. But anyway, but without that underlying characters that you really give a shit about. The only one you really care about is maybe Aquaman, because he's like, he knows what kind of film he's in, and he's just, let's do it. I'm going to kick your ass right now.
Well,
Let's go. Wait, what? What did I agree to?
Yeah, it's Jason Momoa as Xander Cage as Aquaman in this film because he's just like
Exactly.
he's just jumping out of stuff like you expect an ATV to fly out underwater and explode.
Extreme.
I just felt like he was gonna grab like a Red Bull and start skateboarding and shit.
Do you think Wonder Woman's a superior film?
Oh, absolutely. I think Wonder Woman is an excellent film that evokes emotion and it had probably better choreographed fight scenes than this one, individual ones.
Nope.
This one has better, like really, really grand fight scenes that aren't fight scenes. It's just a bunch of like lasers and stuff flying around, which is really, really cool. But I care more about. There's a scene where she's like jumping through an attic and she's like punching and kicking people and like knocking people. There was not a scene that was close to that in this. You just see he's bulletproof, right? So
the final battle, you get a little one-on-one action.
I was gonna say the final one.
I was
that's
really
about the only
hoping.
one.
I was hoping for more one-on-one action. You do get that at the end with some trident stuff, and you rarely see people fight with tridents. But I would disagree. I think the way I look at it is. I do think Wonder Woman. Oh, it's tough for me. I think Wonder Woman's probably slightly better, but only because it cared more about telling a story, characters that you care about, and it could get a little emotion. And it was just so ripe for them to fuck it up or do some love triangles, just some stupid shit, with a female lead. And they didn't do that. They respected Wonder Woman, and I appreciated that. With Aquaman, it gets everything around that right. Whereas Wonder Woman fucks up, and I think the CGI battles were terrible in Wonder Woman. The villain was stupid looking and awful. Yeah. Here, I think that it's the opposite. The battles are amazing. The visuals are stunning. The epicness is all over the place.
The cheesy dialogue hindered it.
It's big, and whereas Wonder Woman's small, this one's big. But then it just doesn't have that same like heart that Wonder
it didn't
Woman
tell a compelling story with compelling characters, and that's rough.
Yeah.
I mean,
so it's reverse that, but I do think they're both really, really good films, and these are two successes, for the DC universe. And how the hell DC is going to go forward, it just sucks to see, man. I see that logo and there's Superman standing in the middle, and I'm like, damn, you did that motherfucker dirty. At least he got one good one, in my opinion. But I have to still consider Man of Steel Elseworlds, But anyway, so back to Aquaman. What did you think of, what's his face? William Dafoe's character.
Yeah, I really liked all the characters, but I feel like William Dafoe's character was very underused.
Mm-hmm.
They really didn't do anything with him. I felt like it was a throwaway. It could have been anybody else.
Part of it, yeah. It could have been a part of twists.
There was one scene where they just zoom in on his face. He trains Aquaman.
A lot of de-aging in the film.
Yeah, so
you've seen the trailers.
No, I don't have a problem with the CG they did, but like in the final scene, Aquaman's doing some move that Willem Dafoe said he'd teach him, but he didn't, and he has such a creepy look on his face. He's like, "Yeah, I taught." Like the creepy Willem Dafoe face.
Yes.
He had that. I couldn't avert my gaze. I was just staring right in it, and it was funny.
Yeah. So all right, well. So we think it's a fantastic visual feast, action-packed, breakneck speed. Every single aspect of Aquaman lore that you can ever want is touched upon in some way. Awesome designs, fun lead, likable leads, unlike Mortal Engines. That one has that problem. Where the dialogue sucks and the story sucks, the characters suck. Here, the characters don't suck. It's just the dialogue and the story that doesn't really quite live up to it. But at least you like the characters. Mm-hmm. So what would you guys end up giving as a final verdict for Aquaman?
For me, I really liked the world building. The visuals were great. Action nonstop, like we were saying. But the story, it needed some help. And one of the side missions, or what? Not side missions. With Black Manta, I think they should have saved him for something else.
Yeah.
I just felt like it was a throwaway on this one.
I like the fact that Black Manta's in it, but yeah.
Well, I loved that he was in it, but I wanted more of him, and we got such a little bit of him, and he was just kind of cast aside.
They should have just stuck with him and Orm, and that would have been a better. It would have been a great story without it. A high 7. I'm gonna go with a high 7 for this one.
Okay. Well, we don't do high lows, Joe.
Okay,
Just
I'm
letting
gonna go
you know
with the
that.
7.
It's a 7.
7 for me.
This one's hard because
It is.
because if you look at it as a film, it is a garbage fire with almost no redeemable qualities. It's like a really, really cool visual feast with good CG, but that doesn't do it for me. Like, that's not why I go. If I want to watch like cool explosions, there's plenty of videos on YouTube where it's
Michael
like,
Bay?
yeah, exactly. We can watch like the 10 greatest boxing knockouts if we're looking for like the big fight scenes. But I did like Jason Momoa. I like him in almost everything he's in. I liked I got enough of the big epic war scenes that I'm always worried that they're not going to give me enough of. They tease you in the trailer and they deliver on that, because it's rare, because things like Rampage and Pacific Rim 2 are horrible movies because you're expecting these big fight scenes and you get 30 seconds. This is a film.
I was actually timing it. I was like,
I was just like, man, that's impressive.
like
They spent a
30
lot of
seconds.
money. This was really good. So that part's really good, but your eyes will roll back in your head if you're listening to what the characters say, and that's so rough for a film that you want to love the way that I love some of the Marvel films. So I don't want to give it a 7, but I'm probably going to give it a 7. Like, it's above average. It is not. It's not a good film. I wouldn't say that this is anywhere near close to Wonder Woman for me. It's just.
But it gets that 7 because it's dumb fun.
It's fun. I do, but.
Like, I think that popcorn entertainment.
Yeah, but the bar has been raised for this style of comic book movie, and so we have to judge it against the Marvel universe and the DC universe, and the bar's been raised, and it's not.
Well, if you're judging it against the DC universe, that's why I think it gets a 7, right?
Yeah, that's what it's like. It's gonna be a 7. Like, look, you can't compare it to Marvel. It's like,
but
its
Marvel,
own league.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think James Wan did give a damn good effort in adapting Aquaman. Like, I think that this got every single aspect right, except for, hey, man, like the next one, slow it down, man. Slow it down.
Cut some parts off.
Let's concentrate on the characters, their motivations, their interactions, building the emotions behind them for when they do get in those epic, massive battles. I think that's why I think that's why Lord of the Rings works so well, is because you spend a lot of time with the characters, they're being built up, and then they go in the massive
each and
battles.
every one.
This one has the massive battles, but it doesn't have the character motivation.
Well, they have to move so fast to cover all the things. He's like, I want to do this and this. I want to show you these things. And so they just have to throw these scenes in where someone explodes. And I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm supposed to care? Yeah, that character told me I'm supposed to care. Exposition scene. Thank you very much.
Whereas we see 1, 2, 3, 4 kingdoms, and then one smaller area that includes different types of creatures. It's almost like 5 kingdoms. I think, and Black Manta, and, well, no, they
Ocean
didn't
Master.
just Ocean Master. But see, these are a lot of different elements. And if you were to cut it down to maybe just the Atlanteans, one other, maybe the Trench, and then Ocean Master, and then focus on those characters and then give us that big battle at the end, I think it would have worked slightly better.
Yeah.
Spending more time with Amber Heard's character.
Underwater Poison Ivy.
Mara,
which I liked Mara, but I didn't know if her deliveries.
Her outfit was so it bothered me every time I saw it, because I watch a lot of Batman the Animated Series, and she's just like Underwater Poison Ivy, and I just couldn't.
She is amazingly attractive.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that.
And
She just looks so uncomfortable.
Hair, and she doesn't look uncomfortable to me, but I don't know what has she acted in before. Did she put in
Pineapple Express?
She put in some solid performances in the past, because I feel like
she married Johnny Depp.
She's like barely passable here.
She's got some man movies.
Maybe, yeah. So I'm not sure about that, but she's still likable. So that's the difference. Whether I think she's a fantastic character or whether she's a likable character. She's likable, and same with Jason Momoa, which holds up the film. But yeah, almost way too many elements in it, and you're like, wow, this was satisfying. But for the next one, let's go something a little bit more introspective, a little, character
Cut
focused.
some stuff out.
Yeah.
I hear it's doing extremely well in China. It's breaking records in China. Maybe that's the shit they like, where it's just nonstop spectacle and you don't really care about the character.
They'll rewrite when they
Rim do well over there too.
Yeah.
They'll rewrite all of the dialogue when they translate it to Chinese and make it actually good, and so everyone over there loves it.
So that's probably why there's all these crazy song selections and all these things. That's why it all succeeded over there. They don't really care to sit there and watch dialogue scenes of, you know, English actors going at it. They want to see, like, the spectacle and just bits and snippets of character development is what I'm thinking of why it broke records over there. But anyway, I hope it does well enough that we see Jason Momoa as Aquaman again. I think he deserves another chance. At this character, because I think he does a good job. And while he's not as cool as Superman, they really in this film make him look as powerful or as epic, or he really looks like, wow, I want that guy.
He is pretty powerful.
I want that guy on my team.
See,
especially in that third act when he's controlling like all his. You need to see this.
Well, I disagree with all of that because he looks.
Well, that's fine. You can disagree, but I'm trying to wrap up the. Go ahead.
Every single Atlantean in this movie is as strong and as fast and as powerful as he is. Every single one of them. His only thing is he can, like, sort of sometimes talk to some fish until he gets the thing, and then he can talk to all of them.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with you there because they're not as powerful as him, because the second they walk up onto dry land and somebody lightly punches their face mask and then water falls out, and they have to stick their head in a fucking toilet in order to survive.
So they can't breathe, but they're
not as powerful.
Well, all the Highborns can. All of the Highborns do. They specifically say all of the Highborn Atlanteans can breathe air and water.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Highborns is fine. Yeah, I'll agree with you for Highborns, but I think that by the end of it, and with his added powers and with the added trident, those things make him the highest Atlantean. And by the end of the film, that was my point, Alex, is by the end of the film, he does earn his spot as a powerful character, sets himself apart from other Atlanteans, and deserves a spot in the Justice League.
Assemble the Super
Now,
Friends.
the Justice League is already fucked.
So we're going to do the Super Friends now.
Oh,
that's
C-Man.
So we're just going to do Justice League instead, or Super Friends instead of Justice League as the sequel? Sure. Yes. I mean, they already went in one direction, Ultra Dark. Might as well go in the other direction.
Yeah, and then we're going to have the Legion of Doom.
And then in the third phase, we'll get it right. Or DC will get it right. All right, guys. We're talking on spoilers now. So, I didn't give you my rating. So, do we even give ratings?
Yeah,
6,
7.
7.
No,
7.
High
7.
Low 7.
Shit.
He said low. I said high.
All right, fine. Then there's lows and highs now. God darn it. Yeah, I guess there could be lows and highs because other films within the same thing. Because I'm gonna give it a 7, and I think Wonder Woman got a 7 from me too.
I think it was higher than that.
I thought it was an 8.
No, the reason why I think I was, aware enough to be like, I love Wonder Woman so much that it got -1 because the story wasn't as strong as the animation. That third act really hurt it.
To the
yes, I can
it's
compare
so
it to
good,
the
though.
animation.
Okay.
This Aquaman is better than any animated Aquaman that they've had. This Aquaman is better. And all the Aquaman storylines that they've had in the various DC animated films, this was better.
Even
Anyways,
with the hook.
Fuck that version of Aquaman, Joe. Anyways. So 7 out of 10 for Aquaman. We'll talk spoilers afterwards, and if not, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show.
See you
Bye,
guys.